Welcome back, design students. Let's continue with the modeling of this marker. So the marker has a taper on this end here that tapers down. It's a round taper, and then the tip comes out like this. So let's model that part. Let's get our multi-cut tool, and we could also use the insert edge loop tool, which is under the mesh tools right here. We could use that as well. And let's hold down Control and cut an edge loop right here where the taper begins. And then let's switch to the Move tool and switch to vertex mode. Grab these vertices and pull them out a little bit, and then scale them down. So we get something that looks kind of like that. Now to continue this taper, I'm going to double click on the multi-cut tool to bring up its tool settings, and I'm going to check the edge flow boxes. This is the same as we used in the insert edge loop tool in our other projects. It's the same idea. It currently has a effect of 1. We may have to change that, but let's hold down Control and click an edge loop right in the middle, and you can see that that works perfectly for me, and as I click edge loops, it rounds that off very nicely. Now you may have to change this number. If it pulls it out too much, then reduce this number to 0.5 and try again, and if it still pulls it out too much, then change to 0.25, and then just keep zeroing in on the right amount by doing that. But 1 works for me. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that box and close the tool settings, and then I'm going to switch to perspective mode by pushing my space bar. And notice I don't have X-ray mode on in this viewport. The X-ray mode or any viewport settings just work for that particular viewport. So I'm going to switch to face mode. I'm going to get my select tool, and I'm going to select these faces right here on the end. Then I'm going to get my move tool and hold down Shift and extrude the marker tip outwards. With those polygons still selected, zoom in a little bit. I'm going to get the scale tool, and I'm going to get the middle node here on the scale tool. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to scale these in to inset them. And then I'm going to switch back to the move tool and extrude them inward. So now we have this little tube that will contain and hold the marker tip. Now let's switch to the back end, get the selection tool, and select all of these faces. I'm going to get the scale tool, use the middle node to scale that in some by holding down Shift, and then switch to the move tool and hold down Shift and extrude that inward. Okay, so the marker has these little tabs that extrude along the inside here to hold the cap on when you push it in the back end. So let's extrude those. Let's start by selecting a face and then skipping 2 and selecting the next face. Let's see if that will get us evenly spaced around the edge of this thing. And that appears to work, but if you notice here, I only skipped 1. So if I thought about it ahead of time, I would have given this thing the correct number of sides so it would evenly space, but apparently it won't. So just go ahead and make it work by selecting one like this. So skip 2 except for one time, and then skip 1, and we'll just leave it at that. Okay, so now we need to use the extrude tool to extrude these out and inset them. And we have to use the tool because we can't do that with the scale tool like we have done in the past. So let's access our modeling tools by holding down Shift and right-clicking and grab Extrude Face. Now notice how my mesh flipped out because my settings are really weird here. So I'm going to go ahead and push the select tool and hit Command Z to undo that. And then I'm going to show you how to fix that. If any of your tools get stuck like that, what you can do is bring up the tool options and go to Edit and click Reset Settings, and that'll reset them. So now when I bring that up by holding down Shift and right-clicking, you can see that they're zeroed out. So what I want to do here is use this gizmo here. Instead of doing this, I want to use this to inset these. So click on this axis. This is the y-axis. And then once you click on it, you can use it like the scale tool, and you can just drag it in, and you can see what it does. So just click that and drag that in like that, and inset those a little bit. And now if we click this to pull them out, you can see that that is exactly what we want. So this is a useful tool. I don't use it enough. I should use it more. Now, if we wanted these to extrude out more like this, then what we would have to do is turn off the tool and bring it back up, click this, and then pull that in, and you see the difference. And then we could use the scale tool to scale them in and make them a little thinner at the end. So that creates the little tabs. And so now we have our basic marker shape here. And in the next video, we're going to create the tip for the marker. And I'll see you then.